I've realised this hairpiece has had it. Like seriously, I don't want to be seen like this anywhere. I'm going to be lying in the dentist chair. They're going to be looking down at my head. Then I'm probably going to go around to my sister's place. We're going to see family members and stuff, many of whom don't really know that I wear a hairpiece. And yeah, this will be my first impression ever. And if, you know, according to my mum, I've told her I'm going to put on a full topper, and she's like, "What? Please don't. You're so handsome. Just shave it off or something, right? Or just have the arches. They're very sexy or some shit, right?" It's all nonsense. But I can't. I hate this thing. It's falling to pieces every time I just even put the slightest amount of brushing through. Can you see this? Are you seeing this? I don't know what you can see. It's very hard to tell that this, I mean, for me, that's very fucking clear that just slight amount of pressure on any of the hairs, they are not solidly locked in. I think what happens is the poly just doesn't get pasted on thick enough, or what is it, whatever. It's not thickness, because 0.03 millimeters is, anyway, enough talking. I'm gonna bleach. It's fucking 7 in the morning. I didn't realize it was so late. I'm going to bleach all the other 5 hair pieces now and along the front, and then I'm going to cut out a couple of them. We'll do all that right now. Just see how quickly we can do it. First step, wet them all, brush them back from the front hairline, okay? It's nowhere near as bright as the big one, but it's all about weight, I guess. Well, they're curved, right? They're all curved, so it's not easy. And also I haven't even cut the hair pieces out, so I'm just doing the entire front contour. I think the contour goes to about there, then I cut. So hopefully it won't ever, the blonde will never reach the sides. I think you must agree that this hairpiece is just nonsense, right? It's really protruding. I've cut it pieces, it's slashed on sides, it was ripped here, and the hairs are just coming out super easy. I just can't see what you can see, I'm sorry. In the small camera, these hairs are not even visible. Hopefully on your screen they are. But I just don't want to be seen in public with a shitty fucking hairpiece ever again. Now, that's messy what I've just done, this method of bleaching the front hairline, but it all works out the same in the end, so long as it's the right amount of time and I haven't got bloody blonde going all through in bits and pieces. But because I don't leave it on forever, it doesn't go stark. Unless I fall asleep right now and just leave these things overnight, that'd be fucked. Alexa, set the alarm for 35 minutes.
35-minute alarm set for 7:37 a.m.
See, I thought it was really late, I'd be waking everyone up, but now it's 7 o'clock in the morning, for fuck's sake. Alexa, stop. I just observed something really disturbing. These hair pieces, the one that I'm wearing now, and this one, that gigantic patch that I had a major problem with is a separate crown patch that's protruding as a square. If you look at the contour of this, it's all smooth, smooth, smooth. Then there's an actual lump. An actual lump. That is the crown that I was having all that trouble with. That's where the hair wants to change directions all over the place. I don't know if that's standard because I usually only cut that, that and that. I always avoid this central area, but this crown looks like it's going to be a common problem. I don't know if this is the same with all hair pieces. I'm going to try this one as well. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Oh, fuck. It's got that lump. If this is going to be an ongoing problem, it makes me feel like I need to make my hairpiece go past that so it will always hang down a bit. Otherwise the crown's always going to have this bloody lump here, right at the edge. So, and also for me, my crown naturally ends at 8 inches and this one's sort of at 7 inches. So that could be commonly an ongoing problem. But for now, I'm going to stick to the STENCIL that I've got. If we just look at the Auschwitz tag here, last time I ignored this front edge part and just considered it superfluous and started measuring from here. But this time, since we want to cut off this much, I'm going to pull the STENCIL down to the very front edge and I'll begin measuring from here. So by default this will be a smaller hairpiece than before, and as you can see this one will actually end right on that crown where all the mess is happening, which is a shame. Now the texture, the marker that I've got, this is designed to disappear when it touches water, and this is wet, so I need to hang a towel over this mannequin head without it just clamping, declamping. I'm going to make sure the left and right side are equidistant here, just from sight. I'm going to trace around the back here. Well, this did not leave a mark on that at all. If it did, I can't see it in this lighting. In fact, it's not leaving a mark on my hand at all either. So it looks like this has mostly just dried out or something. This did come in a pack of 5 though. I'll leave the lid on that, but the lid has been on it for days. So, okay, this one is brand new. This is the one I'm throwing over there. Well, it doesn't leave much of a mark, does it? Okay. I really can't see any mark. Oh, vague, no. Well, too vaguely. I need a big light, and this little light is not bright enough. I mean, this pen is not strong enough, and this light is not really bright enough. I can definitely see better with this light up close. I don't know if you can. See the marker just slightly. Unfortunate. This is all very wet, maybe, or damp, so maybe that's why it's not really leaving much of a mark. Don't know where the lid went. I've lost the lid for this fucking thing. It's there. Right. What a stupid design, seriously. Alright. I can't see the mark. It's ridiculously hard to see the marker. I might have to wait for this to evaporate and for the sun to come in, because seriously, this light is not good enough. I could try to press the record button on the front facing camera though, see what happens. Okay, this has got the light from the phone on now. If I turn off the bathroom, that's how much light you get. It's not really going to help much to go right in. It's really dark. Seriously, I can feel that lump. There's no way to make the brush that. That's going to be chaos. And yeah, my STENCIL line passes right through it. I'm going to have to retrace this again. Hopefully the texture will have enough ink in it to be visible this time. But that's really practically invisible. Like, this is not really that wet. This should work. But it barely even works on my hand. Look at that. That's nothing. There's nothing. I'm gonna put that one in the bin. I'm gonna shake this one. Not that I don't know if it'll make a difference. My hand is completely dry. And that's the best we can get. Nothing. I'll try the other pen. There are 3 more. Yeah, I think I'm right to want to do something about this hairpiece. Shave up less than an inch low, you say? I'm fucking tired, man. My immune system's starting to break down. Is that a hole? That's a hole, that's a hole. Wow, these things really like to rip, don't they? Notice how they like to stick there, but not there. So, if you've got stubble, they'll stick to you. But if you're bald, it won't stick to you. That's Ultra Hold. That's the best glue there is, unfortunately. Come on, shit, are you kidding me? Oh, that whole thing's just ripped. That whole thing's just ripped. That's fucking stupid. This is terrible. Worst hairpiece I've ever worn, ever. That's awful. Two days. I just ordered some more Ultra Hold and some more C22 and some more bleach. Until I can start getting custom orders or whatever, with the bleach being... Fuck, I want to cancel my dentist appointment because I don't want to deal with this. Seriously. It's too late to cancel though, I think. I'm fucking exhausted and I'm going to drive miles, like a long way through heavy traffic. It's going to be a pain. I can't do anything until this is on my head. There's no way. And I'm going to cut it as well. Can you see? I don't know how to show you with this dodgy exposure that the iPhone does, that's blonder a bit at the front hairline. What we're trying to go for though is not the hair being blonde, but the roots being blonde. I don't know how to demonstrate that to you until it's on my head. Maybe I'll just put it on my head now. Can you see? Yes or no? That's enough. I'm not doing any more than that. I'm busting to go to the toilet again. So that hairpiece has been cut to that level of quality. I don't know if this is the shave zone I want permanently. Maybe not. Everyone's saying go up an inch from here. but my hairline sort of finishes there. Well, it finishes exactly where those 2 points are. That's where my hairline, I want the hairline to finish. So what do you mean go up an inch? There, then there, then there. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. It's all about brushability, isn't it? And if we've got a key lock thing happening where you've got snag points, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Are you talking about maybe tapering in an inch on a diagonal sort of thing so it's easy to brush, or you don't think about the brushing process at all? I don't know. The recommendations didn't have any disambiguation or troubleshooting, so I can't take them seriously. This is probably correct because my hairline does finish there. So to continue along that line seems logical, except for the fact that Jake had the arches. So I have no idea what's going on with that. Yeah, you'll have to help me after I've released this mammoth video, because without the full context of everything, you can't help me, and therefore... See, the thing is, if I was going to wear a hairpiece for the first time, I would definitely watch this video because I'm going to cover everything. In fact, I've covered a lot of things. And I'm a beginner at this, but I've got 14 years of experience of knowing things that are wrong with different products. So I know a lot of things to avoid, I just don't know the answers to the new stuff, including the shave zone area and how to deal with the, how to deal with the crown being in the wrong spot on your head when you put on a hairpiece, because the crown is the point that I've never had to deal with before, because I've only just had it to there and the crown's back here, and I've, cut a hairpiece out of that bit and stuck it there and out of there, but I've always avoided the crown. The crown's just a danger zone. Now I have to have the crown. I've realized that's a new area of dodginess from the manufacturers, who assume the distance from your front hairline to the center of your crown ends about there. That's how they're making them. What is it, children? Who has a head that small? Come on. So I'm a bit fucked now. I'm really fucking tired and I don't want to go to that fucking dentist appointment, and it's probably late enough at night now that they're open. I'll say I'm sick and I can't come. Sickness is good, I think. I am sick. Yeah, I'm sick. I just went down to the letterbox with this hat on because I got no hair. And finally the Niwa swing arm, which I've been really praying would be the answer.
Mumble, mumble, mumble is how this story should be written, because you see, it is about a foot. Feet can't hear at all. They don't have ears. Instead, they feel the vibrations of the world around them. So mumble, mumble, mumble is how a foot would perceive everything. For the sake of the story, however, we're going to imagine that this one particular foot can hear perfectly, just as your teddy bear can hear perfectly. You simply imbue N with a consciousness. Yes, you simply imagine your teddy bear has a consciousness, and just like a god, you have given N a soul, and now you can talk to N, and threaten N with eternal fire if N doesn't worship you properly. Just kidding. But make sure N's scared. No, but seriously, don't hurt teddy bears. Love them, but make sure they obey. Just kidding. But I'm deadly serious about love. You should force your teddy bear to love you. Well, okay, don't force your teddy bear to love you. Give your teddy bear the free will to love you, but gently suggest that being burned alive doesn't feel very nice, especially for eternity. Yes, that sounds right. Wouldn't it be awful if you tried to scare your teddy bear into loving you? Of course it would. You would be an evil god if you did that. Does your teddy bear really think and feel on his own when you are not looking? No, not really. You are as God, and without you, your teddy bear is just a senseless object floating around in a cold, dark universe. A universe that seemingly cannot observe itself. But consciousness has not been explained by science. We use words like mind, soul, and spirit in the English language when we mean consciousness, because consciousness is such a long word to say. Consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. See, it takes too long. In French, you can just say esprit, which means all these things. That's easier, isn't it? Perhaps all of reality is simply one consciousness, one mind, alone in the black infinity, and everything you see, hear, and do is simply a figment of the imagination of this single consciousness. Perhaps this one mind, this soul core, is the only thing that actually exists, and in order to keep N-self company and stave off insanity, N has conjured you into existence like some kind of toy to play with, and simply decided that you have a mind of your own, a soul of your own, just like you decided that your teddy bear has a mind of his own. Do you really exist then? You may say, I think, therefore I am. But perhaps you are able to think this because you are the soul core, the single mind who sees reality, who imagines reality, who creates reality. You just can't remember that you are everything, just like your teddy bear can't remember that N is everything. And now that we understand that nothing exists except for a lonely mind screaming for eternity in the lonely darkness of infinity, i.e. you, we can begin our story.
It takes days, weeks, months to get shit done. Oh man, you should have seen what it was like trying to get robotic components to build a full-scale humanoid. Unbelievable. I ended up in hospital and I lost thousands of dollars. I would have thought that fucking putting something on a seesaw from the ceiling would be fucking easy. Just parts, like just normal fucking, just move, stay, rotate, stay. Fuck, how is it that hard? Why is this so unwanted by people? Look, it exists in the fucking form of, is that slipping? Oh, fuck.
Once upon a time, there was a foot. Its owner, Sari, had a tattoo tattooed onto it a few years ago. It was a word. It said, change. Why Sari decided that tattooing her foot like that would be a good idea is hard to explain, given that it wasn't a good idea at all. It just seemed like an enlightened idea at the time because she was a teenager when she did it, and she liked the font. But to be honest, it was a pretty stupid thing to do. She had that word inked onto her foot for the rest of her life, and even after she died, when she was buried in a coffin underground, that tattoo stayed there until her foot rotted away and was eaten by generations of tiny creatures who lived inside her body. One of those creatures was named Gerald. He ate some of the ink from the base of the letter G. He didn't live very long. Despite Sari stupidly writing things on her body with permanent ink, it didn't really matter because she knew she would die one day anyway, and you should go easy on her because she's your relative who will be born 10,000 years from now. You don't love her though, do you, even though she's a member of your family? But I guess you don't love people who haven't been born yet. What about your great-great-grandmother? Do you love her? Your mother might remember her. You might even have some photos of her in storage. Don't worry, those photos will be lost, just like all the letters she wrote, and all the thoughts she had, and the entire world she knew. It's all gone. There's only you now, but as we established earlier, there has only ever been you. You are everything, everywhere, all at once. So you were and are your great-great-grandmother, you will be and are, Sari, you will even be her foot. A foot called change. Yes, change is a foot. Now, as you may have figured out by now, I'm just making all of this up. The truth of reality has not been explained. It's a mystery. Through scientific observation, clever people have found patterns in reality and can predict what has happened and will happen, but as far as the most basic question, why is there something instead of nothing, is concerned, we are very, very far from a good answer. That's why writers just make stuff up. Even if I tell you that you are a mind alone in the blackness of space, and you have invented the universe to keep yourself distracted from the horrific reality of extreme isolation, which is far worse than being buried alive because you can never die and no one is looking for you, I still haven't explained how you popped into existence one day. Seems a bit lazy, doesn't it? But you try to do it. Go on.
And it's so fucking hard. Seriously, it's doing my head in. During these sales, I got some other stuff too. This is a bald cap. I don't see where the other one is, which was the styling wig thing. I'm going to try that on and see if that works as like a glue perimeter. I was hoping that I could get them all like a box of disposable latex gloves, right? You put one on, you cut it to your shape of your shave zone, you just spread it down and it would stay. I looked at condoms and I thought, no, they'll just fucking rip. I mean, they're not designed to rip, but they simply do rip. Then I thought about like dishwashing gloves, all sorts of things. Got a bunch of these delicious looking bars which are just probably filled with sugar and everything, but at least they've got protein, so I can lie to myself that I'm doing something good for myself. Watch that Kurtz Kazat video about how exercise does not make your body burn fat. It doesn't do much at all. In fact, people who are sedentary and people who are running kilometers in the savannah every day are burning about the same amount of calories every day. It's all about food intake, and that's it, unfortunately. So exercise only can give you some muscle tone, but doesn't really burn fat, apparently. You would think it has to. I mean, there was a list of the amount. See, the thing is, your body wants to only spend a certain amount, so if you burn a heap, it'll slow down its burning. You know what I mean? When you sleep and heart beating and so on, it will burn less. So it will conserve calories at all costs. It's very difficult to burn them all off. All right, that's for the car. That's for the car. And then just some more of these. All right, $26 a box, so I got them. Might have one right now, just for breakfast. Unfortunately, this thing, that ceiling stand with teeth. Oh God, I'll try to find ceiling-mounted microphone stands, or ceiling-mounted microphone rigs, mounts, clamps. Fucking, you got to help me. Help me. This is bullshit. Just went to open this this box just to get some gloves out. And it's perforated, so you think, oh, that's nice, it should rip along the perforated line. But, of course, it doesn't. It's so shit, everything's shit. I really wanted that box to open nicely, and now it's fucked. There's nothing you can do about it. Fucking world. Oh, look, one of those boxes where everything just rips, pulls apart. You can't get an individual one at a time. Yeah, that's not going to stretch over my head properly. But I just needed 2 gloves to bloody dye my hair. And you can wash the gloves at the end of dyeing your hair, so you don't need to throw them out. These are extra large. Let's see what they... Like, my hand is not a large hand, right? Alright, for a trial, I just hooked it up. And I tried to attach these other new things that I've got. So I've got the tripod head connected to the shoe mount, which is connected to this single ball adapter thing, which is not very nice, and it moves in a jerky manner because the ball is so fucking small. It's just awful. This thing can't be moved up and down. What the fuck? Why is it so loose?
Whether gas exploded, or a mind made it, or some other existing thing caused change to occur, the existence of nothingness forever is really the only sensible thing that could ever happen. All this shouldn't be here. It's crazy, really. I'm way too stupid to figure it out. Infinite existence with no beginning? That seems like an awfully long time. A speck of gas suddenly appeared one day and exploded. A mind suddenly appeared one day and created. Is there a third thing? Whatever that third thing is, that's probably it. Any discussions about tattoos, gender equality, ghosts, UFOs, time travel, intergalactic civilizations, the void beyond the edge of the expanding universe, the bag that holds each multiverse marble in it, the wars between all the gods who smash each other's universes to pieces for revenge or make love and unite into a hive mind, experiments on hostage aliens who are kept in cages and forced to create new realities every 3 seconds lest they rip off another tentacle. All of these discussions are minute, tiny, insignificant questions compared to why there is something rather than nothing. There should be nothing, obviously. Now I'm angry. Why won't they tell us anything? Even if the night sky opened like the lid of a box and a claw reached in to place another galactic supercluster in here for us to play with, we would have some clue. But instead, we are kept in utter darkness. At least the living are. Maybe after you die and before you are born, you're completely aware of the simplicity of these answers. dances, which pretty much makes us zoo monkeys or story characters for the entertainment of the gods or the soul core. At any rate, we are completely in the dark, so we might as well just make it up. So here's another story to pass the time while we wait for the universe to end, which may or may not ever happen. I call this one Change is Afoot. It's going to be about a human girl called Sari, your relative 10,000 years in the future, whose foot is going to take her away from her life of mediocrity or suffering towards a new perspective, because she's going to go on some meaningless journey that will open her eyes to the glory of creation, with optimism being the big reveal, and she will find happiness or love, which are basically the same thing, through gratitude and contentedness in her ability to use her imagination to create, which gives her life meaning. The foot will be the hero, and throughout the journey, Sari will realize that sitting around dwelling on depressing memories and realizations are no match for the glory of optimism, creation, and hope. Yada yada yada, bada bing, bada boom, everybody lives happily ever after. But I'm too depressed to write that story now. It's like I'm trapped in a reality with no explanation and no meaning, and I'm going to die pretty soon anyway, and then I'll be forgotten. Pity. I would have given the foot a funny voice and everything.
This hairpiece needs to be cut. Either this is a new one. God, can you see the lines on there? It's so disgusting. Until they start bleaching roots on these hairpieces, it's always going to look this bad. Come and have a closer look. It's just so fake, really. Those V-loops can never, those lines, especially at the front hairline, but also looking down at somebody's head from on top, it just looks fake. You've got to have the roots bleached, and it has to be done at the factory. There's no way to do that. I have bleached the front hairline of this hairpiece, but it's going to be hard to tell at this point. I think that's the front, can't tell. You're still seeing those bullshit lines. That's not how a head naturally looks, ever. And this is medium density or medium light density. Anyway, it's the stock density. So that's what it looks like. Really fake. Now I could pin here and pin all around here and then try to cut this hair, or just try to cut it while it's, basically on, because it is hard to cut while it's on my head. But I think it's actually going to be harder to do it while it's on here. Even if I took this thing and mounted this upside down, it was all pinned and these were hanging down, and I tried to jade this all upside down with the razor or the vacuum clippers or anything else, it'd still be harder than doing it while it's on my head. So I'm just going to have to give myself a haircut every time while it's on my head. So just looking at this thing, I'm pretty sure, just by the look of the front V, well, I was about to say that's the front, but I don't know, that might be the front. I can't really tell anymore. It's just so round. It's really round. Now I think that's the front, because you see how the contour sort of changes direction there and there. I think that's the front now. If I try to put this on my head to see if it fits, I hope it fucking does fit. Yeah, that, if I put that there, I need to make sure that that fits at the back, but no, there's nowhere to know until it's on your head, because the hair's blocking your view. If you could clip it up, if in the process of clipping it up, you're pulling up the plastic. So it's very hard to do this. I need to get a really good replacement for this. I have got cling wrap here, so I could try to go ahead and make a stencil in the way that people use the Saran wrap method. Nobody in the world calls it Saran wrap except Americans, as far as I know. It's called cling wrap. That's what it's called. Fuck. That is definitely not good scalp preparation. This is just growing back like haywire. I mean, it's great, but you know, can you imagine after 3 weeks how long this is going to be? I do get the feeling though that I am balding a lot down the center. Not just from what I see through the camera, but even sort of just like front on in the mirror, I can see it doesn't just end here anymore. It's very lightly growing through this whole area. And the front and the back bald spot was quite visible. So if we look at regrowth, that should give you a good indication of how bald I can't see it right now because I haven't got the 8-power mirror screen to screen connector set up. Now a lot of you say I should have started shaving from up here an inch higher than the sides I went down. So if we go an inch higher, these are fogged up already. I just had these lenses replaced, but it doesn't stop it from fogging. Okay, that's an inch there. Okay, 1 inch. There. You reckon I should have started shaving there on both sides? Well, my hairline finishes there, so what would you have me do? Go up and then across? How does that work with hair brushing and so on? I reckon that is a disaster. The poly meeting the hairs would be so obvious. I'd be always paranoid about this section. I don't think you're right. I think you're wrong. You could be right. I don't know. There's no way I would choose to have, like if that's the spot you said, right? I would never want my hairline to come up like that. That's too high. I want it there, right? That's too high. Do you understand? That's correct. So as it stands, I think I've shaven out the right shave zone in terms of over the ear altitude. It doesn't help that I don't have those arches like Jake and stuff, but I don't know how he deals with hair brushing if that's higher. Also, I don't really ever get a clear view with any of his videos about what that means. Does that mean his shave zone is like that? I didn't pay enough attention, to be honest. Because as something is shaped like that with an arch, if it flattens out overhead, maybe it doesn't look like an arch anymore. Maybe it just looks flat. I do need to shave off more of this. And what time, Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:31 p.m.
Fuck it, it's not too late for a fucking hairdryer, is it? Alright. I'll set up a power mirror and I'll do some scalp preparation. Okay, so what I really wanted to do today was to figure out a really good method of being able to stop the razor and stop the glue with a shave zone template. I was going to try to use this thing and trace out the area, but I don't know how good that's going to be because I can't see through this thing to trace, really. The best I could maybe hope for would be to maybe trace around something like this and hope for the best and then remodel it until it works. And then I could use the inverse area as a sort of a guard because this is pretty robust. Let me go get the other thing that I bought. This is the second thing that I bought. This is a bald cap. I got 2 of them, so I got a second chance. I wish they would just a dime a dozen like those rubber gloves, so I could just use it once and throw it away with all the glue muck and everything. Now, is this more see-through? That's the question, so that I can actually... Oh, okay. So that comes around the back of the neck, I think, that flat bit. It smells really bad. I think it might be latex, so if you're allergic to latex, maybe not. I tried to find swimming caps that would do this. I think this might be more effective for like glue prevention rather than razor prevention, because I think the razor would just rip through this stuff. Do I look bald yet? Oh, that works so well, so convincing. You know what? You don't need a bald cap when you look like this. I would say these things are going to be pretty useless, except if you could get 100 of them and they were cheap, and then you could, but then every single time you're going to have to cut out the shape. You're probably better off using Saran wrap and tape and making a bunch of them. Because you really, I mean, it's really useful, I think, to have a shave zone template, which is the inverse of your hairpiece template, obviously. All right, I don't consider that used. I'm going to pack it back up and try to get a refund. They're not that cheap, actually, so that's the problem. This is even more expensive. This is a hair stylist cap. This will probably be more useful because I think it would withstand a razor blade pushed up against the edge of it. But it is thicker. So hopefully the razor blade can get past it. What we're also looking for here is tightness around the scalp, which is why I ended up using this thing, right, which is currently covered in glue from my last attempt, and I never want to wash the glue off this thing ever. So what we need is something round like this that goes over and fits and doesn't move and stops the razor and the glue from getting near your good hair. That hurts though, don't use that thing. There's this, some kind of headband, might be just useful. A headband is malleable, you know, around the edges. I didn't buy any headbands. I didn't really find any headbands that seemed that useful, because at the end of the day, what I'm going to be doing with something like this is just turning it into a kind of a headband, but with more pressure around here so that it can't budge like a headband could. I could just use my hand at this point, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm not going to start leaving a 1 inch gap, because so far I disagree with the commenters who said I should have shaved higher up. Given that my hairline ends there, it's weird to go up and across like that, I think. I mean, unless I'm totally missing something, but brushing and moving the hair around, that's going to create a flap, a weak point. Why would I want that? I'm shaving my head anyway. It doesn't make any difference. The hairpiece is not going to cost less if I conserve this. All the excess is going to be thrown away, so it's not extra money. Bit of extra glue maybe, that's about it. I think I should be using a hand razor for this, all of it. It'd be giving me the best scalp preparation. And in all these situations, I feel like I could probably use my hand. I might have to switch and do left-handed on this side though. Left-handed shaving. I don't know if this whole process is going to have to force me to become ambidextrous. I don't know. If I had this, I could probably just go around. But you've got to be careful, because you don't want to get this shaver going under the lip, right? Because then you're shaving, well, you don't want to. You would have to sort of shave perpendicular so that it can't go past whatever perimeter you make on your shave zone stencil. For now, I'm going to heat up my head with some of these baby wipes. I should have shown you how nicely that came out, because this is just beautiful. Look, one at a time. It's awesome. Much better than the original packaging. Okay, so I'll heat this up with hot water. Fucking slow taps, I hate them. Like 8 litres a minute. The last one was 35 litres a minute. Like the bath would still be at 35 litres a minute. It's so light, it's shit. Yeah, that's hot. The problem with these ball connectors is they can only slot into one little specific location. But a double ball connector gives you 2 extra options. Double ball connector, you understand? Because I couldn't find a ball-to-ball joint like this anywhere on the whole internet, the whole fucking internet, I couldn't find a ball-to-ball connector with a narrow phone holder to accommodate the light and the microphone receiver. Tell me that's on. Like, fuck, it doesn't give me much indication. Ball joint to ball joint seems like the only way. And what you want to avoid at all costs is ball point screw, which is all loose now because any weight that's on it will just rotate and rock back and forward, fucking like everything else I've been using. That's why ball joint to ball joint is the ultimate. I haven't been able to find that at all anywhere, so I'm just using makeshift things you can easily find that are available on Amazon. Otherwise I'd be using microphone stand equipment and just cutting and sawing and putting it all together the way I want it. But I'm trying to accommodate you guys so that you can buy and easily see the back of your own heads with just readily available parts. So I'm going to heat this up with water. The microphone, sorry, the ceiling mount, etc. Components have been a much bigger quest than having to deal with the fucking hairpiece, even though the hairpiece is a big deal as well. That's why this is such a this is by far the most effort I've ever spent on a video for this channel. Like seriously, like it feels like hundreds of hours of research and thousands of dollars. But I've been getting refunds, so that's good. That's why Amazon is the ultimate. Even though some things on Amazon cost 4 times the price of other places, and certainly in Australia it costs 4 times as much as America in a lot of products. It's really the best way to buy things, try them and send them back. There have been some issues with some refunds where I had to argue a bit, and but it took a long time for correspondence. That's another fucking headache. Anyway, sit back, relax, and just buy the components I've listed for you. You don't even have to think about it anymore. I'm your guinea pig. Meanwhile, my mum's in bed with leukemia. My auntie's in hospital after having a fall and broken her spine, and she can't remember who she is all of a sudden. My sister's dog, who's one of my best friends in the whole world, is in hospital after eating a pack of Nurofen. She's going to get stomach pumped. She's under observation. That's about $6,000 worth of vet bills. And then there are branches of misery stemming off in every direction. Also, this month I lost both of my 2 best friends, both of them, for independent reasons. And yeah, I hope you're comfortable. Just sit back and let all of us do the fucking work for you. Right? You just buy the things we list, it's easy. Right? We'll give you full instructions. Just sit back and fucking relax. It's okay. I've got to figure out all these things for myself kind of anyway. I would have built it completely differently if I didn't have to rely on components that you could easily access though. And yeah, I don't understand anybody who doesn't complain. Look, just somebody who just is not a non-complainer. And people who block complaints, who prevent progress, who prevent improvements in the world, I certainly I don't understand those people. In fact, I don't want to understand them. I just want them dead. They are a waste of oxygen. trying to block complaints. Complaints are the seeds of change. They're the seeds of heroism. You have to, if you are a good person, complain. You have to find fault in things. You have to troubleshoot things. You have to look for ways to improve them. And if you are an inventor, you have to invent the solutions as well. That's your fucking purpose in life, all right? You want a meaning of life? That's it. Fix the world. Make it better for the next generation. Make it better for the next people to follow. Don't just be some fucking middleman. If you are a middleman, fine, make some money that way, but that's not a proper way to exist. You haven't done anything useful for anyone. You just carried something, taken some cash for yourself, and then kept it moving along the line. And capitalism like that is, there's no need for you. There's no need for you. Make something, fix something, solve something, complain about something. Let's try to make the world a better place, not a fucking stagnant world of shit where everything becomes cheap plastic crap that doesn't work, okay? This is conditioner. Fuck. Alexa, turn off the bathroom fan. Alexa, turn off the bathroom fan. Turn them all off. Just turn them all off. You fucking idiot. Okay, Alexa, stop talking. Alexa, stop talking. Shut up. I don't know what's going on down here. Why is that raised up so much? Is that just something I need to shave off or not? Well, these hairs are really specific in the way they want to be, in the direction they want to be shaved. It looks like all that, all those scabs and everything have started to heal up, which is good. It's like sandpaper. It really feels like sandpaper. I don't know how low though, really, I don't know how low. I'll wait until the hairpiece is on. How's this new microphone going? Still got connection? All right. Maybe questionable whether or not I shaved that correctly, and that I think I want to grow this bit back, maybe, I'm not sure yet, unless if the shave zone remains the same. This is the brightest this clamp light gets, but without it, you'd be like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to be far enough away that you're able to zoom or get me in frame. I'm just wondering, that Niwa light, the big one, the heavier one, 900 grams, it wasn't that heavy, but it seemed with all the connections I had up here, they were just unscrewing because I could never find the right parts to accommodate a light of that size. But it was a lot brighter than this one. Glasses and resolution would help me here. I think my scabs have mostly healed, I think. There are lumps on my head, but I'm not sure if they are, yeah, I think it's probably remnants of whatever that disease is. But I can tell you right now, shaving my head and everything else has totally helped them to go away, I think. is that bump up there, see that goes there and then up. Is that happening on this side too? Kind of. Now the crown of the hairpiece, of that hairpiece there, exists about there. My bald spot is there, so it's weird when it's there instead of there. It also makes me think I should eventually go down. In fact, why didn't I just do that from the beginning? What difference does it make? I'm shaving off that, I'm shaving off this. The difference now is I've already made a second hairpiece. I'm going to try to fit it onto my head. This one. Getting shot. Okay, this one. Seriously, I'm not joking. Get in shot. Like fucking aim. I expect now that I've built a mount that it's going to work as my cameraman and just track me. You might be better off getting a tracking camera, but I don't think there's a tracking camera that can fly around you unless you get a drone, which only has like 10-minute battery life. It would make an awful noise as well. But it's good that that technology does exist. If you get a tiny little one, just film me like that, that'd be pretty cool. In the future, maybe that will be the answer. But I need it to go where I want it to go. I mean, I don't want it to always be facing my face. I want it to go... I'd get a control button thing and see the back of my own head. I'd control it remotely from the screen I'm looking at. That's what would happen. Okay. I was tempted to look at buying tape today. The roll of tape was about $100 for a roll of tape. It was measured in yards too. I think it's 3 cents in America for that roll of yards, whatever, fucking walker tape, hole or no shine tape or some shit. None of it's good. It's all weak as fuck and it takes ages to apply. And people in the examples we've already seen are not really aiming for the edges properly. They don't care. So I'm going to continue to just glue my scalp and then leave the last bit at the front so that it lands exactly, so I don't have to guess where this is supposed to land. Okay, so pre-glue scalp, post-glue hairline. That's what's going to happen right now. I've also ordered some more ultra hold tape. It is flammable, and I think apparently it's flammable. I've never tried to light it on fire, but I don't know how easy it is to get it through customs. So it's always got to be shipped internationally. I showed you some price comparisons of ultra holds in America, which is like $22 for 1.4 fluid ounces. Or was it 4.1 fluid ounces? 1.4 fluid ounces, which is 41.4 milliliters. It's interesting, in the United States, people don't give a fuck about landing on an integer because your measurements are so shit anyway. In Australia, everything is like in units of either 100 or like, you know, clean divisions of 1,000. 250, it would never be 241, right? What's this? Conditioner, what's that? Oh, okay, I was wrong with that one. 940 mils. Where's that packaged? All right, well, I was wrong. Fuck me, I've never been so surprised. What about this one? That'd be what's that? 100 mils, see? That's kind of expected. Most things, even talcum powder, let's look at this. Look, at least they're trying to get it to the nearest 100, right? It's not like they go 173. They could have chosen any number they wanted. They deliberately want to choose a number that tries to land on a clean unit of measurement for everybody's convenience. I'll just get you some more examples just quickly. Right, Listerine, what do you reckon? 500, half a thousand, okay? Toothpaste. Let's see what they did here. 200 grams, not 173 grams. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go glue my scalp when it dries and wet my hairpiece. They're the two next things to do. mean, it's flimsy, but it definitely conforms to the head shape. Now let's see if this one actually works as a... I didn't mark the front on this either. That sucks. What we're really looking for is a hand to stop any glue landing any of these places. So no, it's not going to work. It just frays upwards. It's useless. I'll send you the bill. I'll just have to use my fingertips. I mean, at least they're wipeable. I can just put my finger against it, just glue like that, I guess. Or just aim carefully and just get better at dexterity. Alright, fuck it. Let's go. Just want to get rid of some of this. I really hope this hairpiece fits. Look at that. That's just a pimple. Before, the other day it was just crazy infected with like creatures. That's an excellent recovery. Excellent recovery. Doesn't want to be shaved that way. I have to do it with my left hand. Yeah. Maybe upwards. Yeah, upwards. Downwards? Yeah, downwards is the path of maximum resistance. I'm going to leave that because I feel like that was an accident. Until later on when I maybe decide to do that because of the crown problem. Okay. I feel like the glue probably kills it. Also, you know, this stuff could have dangerous chemicals in it that cause you to... Why is the frame rate so good? Am I recording in slow resolution? I've got to check this. Yeah, I was filming in slow-mo. I don't even know if the audio was recording. Is it even recording now? Hopefully. Alright, I'm going to try to just put this on. Obviously this thing failed because it sticks upwards and doesn't stop glue from coming down the edges. That's useless. I'll put this in my hair just by aiming with my fingers. I just thought of something. What can I put on my hand so that my hand doesn't get glue all over it at the end? Something cheap. Boom. Bend over. You know, something I wanted to do before I did all this was maybe dye the greys. What do you think? Should I dye them? Dye them and then give myself a bit of a neaten up around these sideburns so I don't look like Raiden wins. Shave off the orange, get rid of the greys and just go 100% brown. I mean, my eyebrows aren't orange, are they? My eyebrows are nowhere near close to this colour. So I'm gonna dye my hair. I've already got one glove on. Why not? Let's 50% of this and 50% of this. Alexa, set the alarm for 30 minutes.
30-minute alarm set for 11:07 p.m.
Okay, I'm going to rinse all this out. I'm going to wash that grey right out of my hair. I don't know if this is going to make a good stencil going forward. Could I put something like that on top and trace that instead of that going forward? I don't know, it could be a good stencil, maybe. Probably would be quite traceable, but you got to worry about that flipping up accidentally and then you've marked your hairpiece. But so long as you use erasable markers, but these things, they hardly work. Don't get these ones, they're shit. I need to look for more erasable markers because the concept is good. It said in the instructions, well not on these instructions because I didn't read these ones, but when I was investigating online, I think it said you might want to spend 45 minutes with the dye in your hair if you've got stubborn greys. And I think some of these are a little bit stubborn, but you can see most of the greys have gone. That was only 30 minutes. I don't know what this hair colour is like. I hope it still matches. This is a lot of effort to not be bald, huh? Yeah, I could have done with a few extra minutes. The interesting thing is that this is much softer than before. So if you could get a colourless version of these chemicals, you can really soften your hair so much. It's so soft, it's beautiful, I love it. I've got very bristly hair, especially the beard hair. I don't know if you can hear this. Oh, the microphone's down here, so you probably can't. Anyway, so there are a few greys. Maybe it's because I wiped that bit, because the greys back here all seem to have gone. Okay, I feel like I've done proper scalp prep. Now I'm going to apply Sellotape Ultra Hold. Hopefully this hairpiece will fit. Then I'll do my neck as well because I can see that was pretty fucking unsightly. I never know how far down to go with that. And I'll probably get rid of this facial hair as well. Given that I know pretty much that I'm going to be putting this over my entire scalp, I might start by pouring it as a sort of a supply. In the middle, like that. No, I can't reach my hand around that far. This is awkward. Like I told you before, it's easier to steer with your head, so I'm just going to keep the brush stationary and rotate my head like this. Pretty hard to steer. Pretty hard. Your arm gets tired after a while holding it up over your head like this all the time. Okay. It was a bit messy there. Okay, this glue is dried, or it's tacky. So what I'm intending to do now is to, first of all, get rid of any curling around the edges. The weight is usually holding it out. I'll spray on some alcohol spray. Check where the temples are. Try to slide this to the front hairline. It's not enough alcohol. Okay. Temple 1, temple 2. There, actually. Still not enough alcohol. And now this is starting to get I really want to be able to slide freely. Don't want any recoil, so I'm trying to pull that into a good spot. Just feeling around the back with my fingers, because I don't know any other way to do this. Trying to make sure it's at least mostly in alignment, and any partial deviations can be corrected. I should have brushed it in such a way where I knew where the center was each time. These glasses are not right. Let's go. No, it's too hard. Too hard. It's too hard. You just see everything like that's going on, okay? I've got to spray this as well as my scalp to get these fucking hairs off. Fuck! I splashed some dye on my brand new vanity, so I don't know what the fuck to do to get that off. My fingers are covered in glue. Water does nothing. I need C22. It's permanently stained. Fuck. One thing I think will exist in the future that doesn't exist now is that tap heads will know the setting of the temperature you want rather than you having to fucking jiggle it around, and because it takes a long time for the cold water to push through and hot water to come out, so you tend to favour the hot until the cold, and then you've got to adjust it. If you could just fucking get that tap to know the temperature you want for washing your hands and stuff. Too far to the left is going to feel like it's burning you, and too far to the right is too cold. Just preset buttons. Electric taps, maybe, I don't know. Oh, good. This toilet bleach worked to get this out. So I've removed the stain, thank God. I don't know how to put a hairpiece on my head. Seriously, I do not know how to put a fucking hairpiece on my head. Are there any stray hairs? Yes, there's one there. Get off me. Get the fuck off me. I wish you could have a wider angle, like just go all the way up, maybe. The front facing camera is very limited, as you probably are aware. I need to see this. Fuck this hair here, I'm gonna leave it. It's too hard to get out. Fucking stay. Don't move out of the way. Okay. Front center. Okay. This is insanely hard, man. I'm just going to have to start brushing it in with the expectation that it's in approximate position for now, and then try to line up the sides. And these glasses are fucking falling off my face. I need these things bolted to my eyeballs. This is fucking bullshit. You go there. There are heaps of hairs getting caught underneath the hairpiece. I'm having to go by feel now. Get over there. Down here. Fuck. I can't see fucking shit. Alright. Get the hairs out from under there. What are you doing? Go around there. That's overhanging. Why is it overhanging? It should not be any overhang. It should fit. It should fucking fit. Does it slip back at the front? Fuck. Fuck it. It's too hard. That's too hard. I give up. I'm just going to leave it to dry like this. It's too hard. I seriously don't know how you guys do it. I measured this over and over again. It should be perfect. Then at the end I will glue this down. Hopefully this is straight at the front. Temple one. Is that overhanging on that side too? How's that even fucking possible? Tell me it's too high. Is there glue in the front hairs as well? Don't forget I have not applied glue to the front yet. There shouldn't be any glues in the front of the hair. How the hell would that have happened? I didn't put any glue around there at all. Unless when I slid it around it maybe got some glue. If there's glue in here it's fucked. And it feels like it's sticky. Why? Why? Seriously, why? How did that happen? Of all the problems, I would not have expected that one. That is fucking bullshit. Is this hairline too high? Maybe it is. Maybe I'll lift the whole thing up and push it forward further. That's the edge of the temple. That should be there. Why is it all angled backwards? The whole thing must be askew back here somewhere. Oh, fuck you. Move up. I need a wider angle. I'm going to flip the whole phone around, okay? Okay, I'm now using the back-facing camera of the phone. Get these fucking hairs off. Right hand. No, that's backwards. Can you see this? That's the button you press to flip it. Then you rotate. Then you double tap that, and then it makes it big, okay? Overhang. Yeah, I can't worry about you right now. It's too hard. Trying to film this as well as do it. You understand what I'm saying? You can see there, right? You can see my reflection, whatever. Fucking just don't complain about my camera work. It's hard enough. So there's going to be some fucking overhang. There's nothing I can do about it. Or are you there? I don't even know. Oh, you're that one now. You just changed. It doesn't even tell you. Of course there are hairs under there. It's too hard to move at this point. I feel like the whole thing's a little bit askew, but I'm not gonna fucking deal with it because this is bullshit. And once again, I have no backups. But at least I have bleached front hairlines. And my glasses are all fogged up. Front hairline's all covered in glue. Looks like the bleach did absolutely fucking nothing. Face me. Fuck, just face me. Why are you out of focus all the time? This is a fucking nightmare. Seriously, I've never seen an iPhone not be able to focus like... Why are you focusing on the fucking door handle? For fuck's sake, just look. My fingers are fucking covered in glue. I can't even do this. Look, that hairline is so shit. And I think it's too high as well. Need some decent fucking lighting. that too high? Maybe the hairline should be down by about 8 millimeters, down about there. Is it too high on the sides here? This is bullshit. Fuck. Fuck. I feel like, you know, I bleached this for 40 minutes. I've bleached it for 40 fucking minutes. It's still like, it looks like doll's hair. That is the front, isn't it? Is that even even? Is that even to you? I feel like one side is, I think that's higher than that maybe. And why is it covered in glue at the front? That's fucking bullshit. Fuck this. Fuck this. How do you do this? How do you fucking do it? How do you make the perimeter like accurate? This is such shit, man. I fucking hate it. No wonder you all use tape and just go, whatever, that'll do. No wonder. Seriously. It's extremely, extremely hard. It is about 1,000 times harder than putting on a front partial. I'll tell you what, it's made 1,000 times harder again by not being able to see because your eyes are broken. Fuck! Somebody come and clean up my bench space. Go wide. I just said go wide, don't fucking stop recording, for fuck's sake. Just... That's the worst I've ever looked in my whole life. That's the worst. Right now is the worst I've ever looked in my entire fucking life.